Hi, this is Mahesh Kosuri. Here we are going to discuss of SAP Analytics Cloud Planning Scenario. Yeah, in my previous video, we have seen how to bring the data from one model that is having more number of dimensions to the model that is having the less number of dimensions. So we have done some aggregation behavior, right? Aggregate dimension and aggregate right to those kind of keywords we have used, and we brought the data from one model to the another model. So these are the final figures in our model now, right? These models are this the data is available now in our model. Here, what I'm going to do, let us restrict this data to particular region so that would be helpful for us to understand easily. Okay, so I will take the USA here. Okay, this is the data set we are using. Oh, okay, one more additional column you see here, utilization factor, actual utilization factor. Previously, in my previous video, you see only the capacity, I guess. Actual capacity I have maintained, or only order quantity also we might have brought into the this model. I'm not sure whether capacity also there in my previous video. But anyhow, in this model, now I'm maintaining the actual capacity of the plant. See, what is my requirement here? First of all, let us understand why do we need this capacity and utilization factor. What I have done, I have brought the data from this variant order planning. Okay, here we have some forecast order quantity figures, right? In this variant order planning, we have some forecast order quantity figures. Those figures, these are actual, and of course we have maintained. Let me close this. Yeah, these are the quantity forecast actuals, right? So what I have done in my previous video, just I copied this data based on the region level at the variant customer is at unassigned and sub region at unassigned and brand level, I mean region level, I have aggregated. That is the reason you can see the aggregated data in the forecast category, right? Forecast 2 here I'm maintaining order quantity. So for each month or each period, you see the plant is at unassigned, and the data source is copy from order quantity planning data. This is what the we copied. So my order quantity now it is available at unassigned plant level. Okay, that is the scenario generally when anywhere, right? When you are bringing the data from at least when you are maintaining the data in your model, especially the production planning data does not care of whom you are selling, and yeah, whom you are selling, it does not care, right? It does not care of even the sub regions also. Here in this one, in this model we are maintaining, okay, in USA I have three plants I have in this region. Okay, these are the order quantity I got, forecast order quantity I got for these 6 months. Now this order quantity I need to distribute to the plants. Three plants I need to distribute. That's what my requirement is, right? Here 5632 order quantity is there, and actual capacity we are showing the 15,000 something. These figures are actually, this is all the dummy data I have taken. That is the reason it looks like very weird data, not realistic data. It is actually, these figures should be more than the plant capacity, or at least up to some extent it should be there, right? Okay, So this is what the forecast data. Now I want to distribute this data to these plants. That's what I want to do now. Once you get the data from the other model, that's fine. Now here we need to distribute this figure to these three plants under the region USA. Not only under the region, here you need to consider the brand variant also. You need to consider the brand variant and the time you need to consider, right? You need to consider the time also. And here we see one more important measure, utilization factor. This is one interesting thing, utilization factor. See, general in the general scenario, if you take the capacity of the plant, the customer may not use the plant capacity fully. Sometimes 50%, sometimes 60% of the capacity they may use because of the limitations. Many factors may affect their plant capacity to use 100%. So that's why here I maintain some actual data utilization factor actuals. I'm maintaining like 50%. 0.5 I'm maintaining, but it is 50% like that I'm maintaining. Okay, this is what overall available data in this model. So my requirement is now, okay, you take the order quantity from the October month from the plant unassigned from this data source and consider utilization factor of that month, whether you take the actual or forecast. Here we are taking the forecast values, right? So here also you take the forecast utilization factor. Based on the utilization factor, you split this value and post to the respective plants in the same month for the same variant. That's what we have to do here. So I'm going to split this value. I'm going to distribute this value. Finally, I'm going to allocate this value to the plants based on utilization factor. So when it comes to the allocation, every in any any software, any planning tool, generally we call we name something like drivers. Which one will drive our allocation scenario? So here driver is nothing but utilization factor, because this utilization factor will split our forecast order quantity based on its utilization factor, and it will post to the target values. Target is like plants, not only the plants, even the months also or periods and variant also. So this is the target key, right? Our target key is yes, variant, and date, plant, and data source also. This is the target. Then what is the source? Source is the same, right? Source is same in the sense like yes is the source, variant is source, and our date is source, and plant is source, and data source is also the source. So this is entire combination of these dimension values is the source for us. So what I need to tell to the system, you pick the value from this unassigned plant from this data source, then system will pick 5632, then split this value based on its utilization factor. Its utilization factor, it means at the same place you need to pick the key. Sorry, for the same key, you need to pick the value of the utilization factor, right? Then only system will can read the value. Then only system can perform the allocation process. Here, actually, our actuals are at some different date. In September, it is. Actuals we are maintaining at the September, right? And capacity also we are maintaining at the September level. Actuals, these are all actuals. We have not yet copied to the forecast version. These values we have not yet copied to the forecast version. Forecast version in the sense from October onwards, the forecast period from October to September. This is what we have defined. All these 5 periods we have defined as the forecast figures. So here we are going to discuss of allocation finally. That's what, right? So in SAC allocation is very easy process. Let us learn now that allocation process. How do we configure? Actually, we can do this allocation process using the script also. Script is nothing but programming, right? So by using the program also we can get our result. But SAP has delivered its own standard allocation process. Let us see that allocation process first. Okay. See, to customize the allocation, here you see one symbol, allocation, right? This is the allocation symbol. It is allocating to from. It's like one value. It is splitting into three different. Okay. So let us go to the allocation. So once I click on that allocation, it is showing like create new data allocation step, continue using the legacy designer. So legacy designer, now we do not need to discuss of or learn that one. Okay. So let us go with the new data allocation step first. Okay. Create new data allocation step. So here first I'm creating the allocation. I mean this one data action I'm creating. This one should work in our production planning model. Here I am simply writing allocation of order quantity, right? Order quantity, allocation of order quantity I am writing down here. Now let us save this one first. I have saved this one. Then here you can see add allocation step. This is interesting behavior. Interesting navigation also, right? Allocation of order quantity. Allocation of order quantity I'm giving here. Okay, you see the structure of the allocation configuration. The first one is the source contest. Okay, here you see the source contest, three parts. Let us see the three part. First source contest, then driver contest, then target contest, then allocation rules. Here you see source dimension, driver dimension, target dimension. So that's what we have discussed, right? Source dimension here. It is asking us to select the source dimension. What is my source dimension here? From this figure, from this data set, we know our source data set is unassigned, right? This must be my source, so that the system will pick 5632 value. It will pick 5632. But based on what data source? If I maintain the unassigned, for now in this data model, at this unassigned, only one data source I am maintaining and only one measure also I am maintaining. But in the realistic time, at this unassigned value, at this unassigned plant, there may be number of measures may be there and number of data sources also may be there. So we need to specify the exact key. right? So that we can get the value, exact value we can get. So here, what I'm doing first, okay, my source dimension is plant. In the plant, I will select unassigned member first. Unassigned member first. It means once I select the unassigned, what it means, you take the rest of the dimensions and their members as is, along with this unassigned. That's what I'm trying to say to the system, right? So here you see driver dimension. This is always a measure. So select your measure. What is here the driver dimension? It is nothing but utilization factor, right? Driver is nothing but utilization factor in this scenario. So the driver will take the source data and it will split the source data based on this measure and repost the values to the target. That's what here we are going to configure our values. Now my target dimension is also a plant. It should be the plant. Why? Because here I'm trying to copy the splitted values to these plants from unassigned to the plants I want to copy. That's what I'm doing here, right? So here I go and again I will select the plant, and here this is one interesting thing you can notice. You cannot filter these members based on its property. That is the reason I have maintained these members with some uh, what do you call suffix, right? US values we need to select here. So here North America values. I'm selecting these NA values. I'm selecting. So three plants are there under the NA. So these three plants I am selecting. This is what we know initially, right? Pick the value from the unassigned plant, copy the result to the target plants. Utilization factor is my driver. So here I'm taking utilization factor 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 are there. So system, how it will take, if I select the unassigned value, this unassigned is at this date. This unassigned is at this data source. So it will pick the data from this source. Actually, what happens, it will check the utilization factor is also at the same level of key. It means at this date, it will check, okay, at this plant, it will check this data source. So we need to tell to the system utilization factor where from where you will get, or you want to maintain your utilization factor at the same level. So let us maintain utilization factor and plant capacity also at the same level first in the forecast version. Okay, then only our standard allocation process will work. You need to maintain your data at the same standard, I mean at the same key level, so that that would be easy for us to configure allocation process, execute and see the result. So that's why what I'm doing here, order quantity anyhow I'm maintaining at forecast version. This capacity and utilization factors also I will maintain in the forecast version and forecast periods. For that, already I have customized one data action here. We have seen already how do we configure the data action and how do we write the script to copy the data of one measure to the one combination to the another combination. That's what here already I have done. So here I'm selecting forecast 2. Let us run this one. So that first I will bring the data from that's code, right? Here exactly I have maintained the utilization factor. Now I have maintaining at the same October month I'm maintaining. So previously my utilization factor is zero point 0.5 for the actual. Now forecast is also I'm expecting the same utilization factor. My plant capacity is also the same for the same period and for the different plants. This is what I have maintained the data. Now we know uh, order quantity at what level we are seeing the order quantity at the same level. Even the utilization factor also you can see. Other than plant, rest of all the key is same, right? That's what here I maintain. Now what I'm expecting, this 5632 should be split based on the utilization factor. How it will happen? Let us run this one first. Okay, we are in the we are discussing of the allocation configuration. So here first I maintain. Okay, take the unassigned value. Okay, then apply the utilization factor, write to the plant. All the three plants you can write. Three plants I have taken right here. So what the system will take, it will take the utilization factor of these three plants. It will take the utilization factor of these three plants into consideration. It will sum up. Okay, then for each plant it will take the source value. I mean, it will take the source dimension unassigned, and order quantity it has to pick. From this unassigned, it has to pick order quantity, right? So I will tell to the system here, source contest. What I'm telling to the system, okay, you pick order quantity. In the source contest, I'm telling you pick order quantity of this unassigned. Your target version is forecast 2. Okay, version I have selected and measure also I have selected. So now what I'm telling to the system, you go to the plant dimension. Against this plant dimension, form a key for the forecast 2. Okay, and you pick the measure value you pick, and then do the allocation. Do the, I mean, not the allocation. Yeah, order quantity, split this order quantity based on the utilization factor of these three plants. So system will consider these three plants. It will sum up utilization factor of these three plants. Then it will start to split this measure for each plant. That's what here I'm configuring. And here you see driver contest. In this driver contest, date already selected. Okay, date already selected. We know this plant unassigned value currently it is available at this data source. Copy from order quantity planning. What I'm going to do here, I will add even the data source also here. Data source also I'm adding here so that the system can pick the right value. Okay, once source I have picked, if the target I have not defined from the I mean target side, if I have not defined the data source, then system will understand, okay, target is also the same data source, it will understand, right? So I'm filtering the data. Source side, I'm filtering the data by defining the dimension and dimension members. And the same way, source contest side also, I have defined what measure it should consider into this allocation process and what version it should consider into the allocation process. That's what here I have maintained. Okay, let us save this one. Here, two more important parameters, configuration parameters we need to discuss. Keep source and keep target, override target. Keep source is like, if you do not check system, what it will do, it will go and bring your value, split that value, and move that value to the target site. Moving in the sense your source will be zero, nullified. In the same way, override target. Do you want to override target or do you want to add it? So we want to add it, all right, right? We want to override the value. So you need to override, keep your source value so that the next repetition, the system will read the same value. First, you have done some allocation process. Okay. Now you want to update your utilization factor. Whenever you update your utilization factor, based on that updated utilization factor, you want to see the allocated order quantity. So your allocation process will be repeated. So for that, here allocation rules, here you see number of repetitions, up to how many repetitions you can maintain here. That is the one thing here you maintain. Most important configuration settings are here: source contest and the driver contest. Here you see, for now driver contest I'm maintaining only date. Okay, with this configuration scenario, I will run this allocation process. You see the result, whether the result is correct or not. Let us see this. Let us first start with testing this one. Here, I have maintained already data action, because already you know how to configure the data action in the story dashboard. There is a reason. Okay, sorry. This is the allocation of order quantity, right? Let me save this one. Let me say change the pointer here. Data allocation of order quantity I am taking here. Okay. Don't publish. I want to publish. Okay. So this is fine. Okay. Now let us run this one. Forecast 2 I am taking. What I am expecting? Take the sum of this, take the proportion of the plants, then based on the proportion, split that order quantity and post to the uh, post against the each plant. It has posted some values, right? It has posted values. See, 1878, 1877, 1877. It has posted all these 5632 values based on this proportion. What is total? 1.5. This is zero point 0.5. It means one third, right? 0.5 by 1.5. It is one third. One third of the 5632. 318. So 18 something. So all the values have been split in based on that order quantity. Say suppose if I go here forecast, if I go here, if I change the value 0 0.6, 0 0.6 and 0 0.6, I maintain. All these values, for all these variants, it has taken all the proportions. Let us see what is the difference between this proportion and this proportion. Now here I maintain the 0 0.6. Okay, based on these figures, it should, this up for this variant only, it should reflect the changes, right? Now I'm running the allocation. No changes. Let me run with some other value. I'm taking 0.8, 0.8 I'm taking, and 0.8 I'm taking. No changes it is showing, right? Interesting, right? Interesting behavior this is. Why it is not showing any values changes here? That's what we expect. No, we're expecting like whenever we change this forecast to utilization factor based on it should change these values. 0.8 I have maintained, so this is also one third only. One third only it is showing, right? Always it is one third. Now just I will maintain this change. We keep on maintaining one third fraction only. That is the reason it is showing. So I will change that value now. We do some change now. Yeah, we do some change now, right? And in the same way, say suppose if you go for this variant, what I'm giving 0.6, sorry, 0.6 I will give here. Here I give 0.8. Here I give zero point 0.5 only. So I want to see the changes only for this November. Same variant. This variant, November figures also changed. And we go to the some other variant. Okay, some other variant also we have the values. This one also changed. Yeah, here you notice. Okay, uh, here you notice the issue actually. What I have done here for November figure I have changed here, right? Yeah, for November figures, November utilization factor I have changed. So what is happening here? Order quantity November values for this variant it has changed. That's fine. This is what we are expecting. But what is happening here? It changed for the other variant also. You notice here, right? For the November, it changed for the other variant also. Whereas here you see one third. This is one third. 111 here I maintained. So one third actually. One third of 466, 15. But these values got changed. This is wrong, right? This split is happening, though total is same, but the split is happening based on the some other variant utilization factor. This is what happening. So our customization is somewhere it is wrong. Whatever the configuration we have maintained in the allocation rule, that is somewhere we did wrong configuration. What wrong configuration we have done? Let us see here. What is driver context here? Reference dimension date only I have taken. My split always should happen based on the uh, what is that variant, right? This driver dimension should consider the variant plant we have considered, but variant we are not considering in this driver dimension. This utilization factor is considering only the date. So now what I am telling to the system, you consider brand variant also when you are reading the driver dimension. You read the brand variant also. So what it is doing initially, if you do not maintain the brand variant here, default whatever the value first it is available to the logic, that value it is picking and doing the allocation. So to avoid that one, what I'm doing here, I'm adding brand variant also into the driver context scope, so that this utilization factor now will read by dimension and by brand variant. Let us see whether the issue got fixed or not. We go here. I'm again, let me refresh once so that we can see the change. Here I'm changing again 0.8, 0.6, 0.7. I'm changing these values, right? So now based on this changes, these values I'm expecting to be changed, not the other variant. So what I'm doing here, November, only I'm filtering the November data here. Filter this member so that we can see the values in the limited scope. So these values we have changed, right? So I want to see the change only in this data set, not rest of the variants. Let us run this allocation process once again. What variant we have taken? 1/3. This is nice. This is also nice. November. This variant 1/3. This is also nice figure. This data is also fine, right? That's how. See now the November data for this variant, these values has split in by the utilization of the same corresponding November and variant. Say suppose if I change value here 0.8 factor, I if I take here, now go and run your allocation. You see, only this set has got changed, not the rest of the values, because our change specific to this variant and this number. So, what I'm trying to say, the configuration, driver context configuration also will play very important role in your allocation process. Okay, and one more important thing I will show you here. Okay, this is 5984, right? I'm making them 0. This is interesting behavior actually I have noticed. Okay, I maintained 0 these values. Okay, there is no utilization factor. It means it is in fact unbooked value. It is right. We have discussed of unbooked value, unbooked configuration, unbooked. Unbooked in the sense if the values are not available, not available in the sense not 0. Actually, they are unavailable, or you can say blank. If the values are blank, that is called unbooked data, right? So this utilization factor in the forecast 2 for this variant and the November period for this region, unbooked values are not available. So let us see the behavior of this scenario also. Why I'm telling you, if you see this behavior, just you can go and check whether that driver data is there or not. See, it is simply doubling your value and taking the nullifying the other values. See, simply doubling the value and nullifying your target values simply. So these target values are working based on the driver dimensions. That's why here is the null values are there. So based on these null values, these values also we are expecting zeros. That's fine, but it is doubling. If I run this allocation once again, it is again getting doubled. Interesting behavior, right? So I'm not sure whether it is the bug or whether it is the what is the kind of scenario. I'm not able to find out what is happening in the back end. I did some homework, but still it is a puzzle for me. Actually, if you guys knows, just let me know what is the happening here. Okay, so it looks like very easy process configuring the allocation, but we might be aware of what are the source context dimensions we need to keep, what are the driver context dimensions we need to keep. Okay, this is what overall story of allocation process. I will come up with some other scenarios in the coming days. Thank you for watching.